Hello everybody, welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, whatever. Or welcome back if you've been watching the streams. Today, we are going to take this Bolt Hellcat and this Bolt Hellcat, and we're going to make a single Bolt Hellcat. And oh, this car is actually pretty solid. So we're going to be using this. That body is actually good. Haha, that body is near 100%. Fan dabadoozy. So we'll be using this body shell as our base. We're going to take both cars completely to bits, including taking off all the body panels, the bumpers, headlights. Let's start working on this one because this is going to be basically sold for parts afterwards. Take off the door, which is going to take off everything associated with the door, the windscreen, body window, rear window. The trunk's already gone off. The rear bumper, the tail lights. You can hear the little beeps maybe coming through there. Missions going through. There's a front bumper, should be. Nope, front bumper's not on this car. Good. Start disassembling the suspension now, and I've got some upgrades in place, so I'm doing this at 100% extra speed. As you can see, I'm level 16, and the way experience works in this game, every part you take off, every part you put on, is one experience. So by doing these, you do actually gain experience, albeit slowly. Need to grab the wheel hub bearing, wheel hub. So you can see my experience is slowly ticking up over time. Take off the double wishbone shock. The sway bar needs to go as well. Tie rod needs to go. We'll be doing this all twice. Basically because that's the way that the game pulls this all together, is you will to raise it up on the lifter for that. Rubber bushings can go. I'm just taking off as much as I possibly can off the suspension for now. The steering knuckle can surely go. Oh no, I need to... No, I need... Oh, okay. So let's get the rear suspension off. What we'll do is we'll get this... the recipient Hellcat, I guess, is going to be the best way to describe it. We're going to get that up to 100% and everything, which means we're going to be doing some part repairs today as well. And in the next part, we'll actually... we're going to do this as a two-part, by the way. This part, we will be disassembling the cars and doing the repairs to all the parts. And then in the next part, there we go, we will be actually building up our Hellcat. So if you want to skip ahead, you can feel free. I'd recommend watching this just to, get to see the cars coming to bits and see how much we make out of the body shell of this thing. See how lucky we are with the repairs, because I think I got a 65% chance of repairing something. Although I don't know if that's still a bit bugged, because unfortunately Car Mechanic did have a bit of a less than ideal launch, shall we say. It probably should have been held off for a little while longer than it was. Let's start disassembling the engine. I know I've got the front, what is that, the front left tire still on there, but that's going to be fine. That air filter is just shot. I wonder, can I change this, because it's a V8 overhead cam, can I change this to be twin carb? Or does it have to be a single carb? Sorry, overhead valve even. My bad. The rocker arms and push rods are the worst, I swear, because there's 16 rocker arms and 16 push rods. And each of them goes in individually, and all the rocker arms, that's a near perfect rocker arm. All the rocker arms have their own bolt, which slows things down quite significantly. Let's take off the brake servo while we're back here. Let's also take out the radiator, because we don't need that in here at the moment. Now we work on the push rods. 1, 2, 3. All of these are junk. Almost all of them are junk. That is not good. It's reducing our chances of a nice, cheap repair, because honestly, repairing parts is where you're going to be getting the profit from. You buy in all new parts, you're going to be spending almost more on the car than it's going to be worth. You manage to repair a good bit of it, you're going to be getting money. Let's get the head cover off. You can pull this car, you can pull cars apart in only, what, 10-15 minutes? These rocker arms look somewhat okay. Well, most of them do. 59%, yeah. Let's actually take out the push rods as we're going. And the spark plugs. The other side had no spark plugs, so this car was nowhere near being in a running condition. I think I picked this one up at the junkyard. One of these I think came from the junkyard. One of these came from the barn find. And it's just a case of with the barn finds and junkyards, you do have to buy the cars, by the way. It's just a case of, you know, finding matching cars, or maybe finding a car that you really like and really don't mind making a bit of a loss on, that you just want to have in your parking lot. Like for me, that is a currently an AC Cobra is parked up in the parking lot that I don't think is worth enough to sell. So I turned that into a proper project car, and that's going to be kind of staying with me for a while, I think. Oh, that water pump is completely shot by the looks of it. It is at 15%. That might be... I might be able to repair that, you know? That might be salvageable. A lot of these parts could be salvageable if I get lucky with the... Oh my god, clips. I hate clips. Whoever decided the clips needed to be in Car Mechanic, please stop giving ideas to people. Because they are by far the most annoying thing in the game. And like, I hate wheel hub bearings too, but the clips just take the biscuit. Because you can have the full car together, but if you're missing the clip, oh no, you can't drive it. Undrivable because you're missing a small clip that doesn't really do all that much. Especially on the air filter. That doesn't make sense. Cam gear, camshaft come out. Is that everything to come off the engine on this side? Let's just go back over here a bit. The starter is accessible from under the car. So that's the top end of the engine dismantled. We'll take the rest of the... Oh yeah, and entered from engine side, so we just need to come over here. We will dismantle the... wheel assembly here. We'll have to do this twice, because we do have the... recipient car, but we're going to repair what we can once we get this car disassembled. It looks like the exhaust system might be pretty salvageable. Not entirely, but mostly perhaps. Why can't I take the engine block out? Actually. Because I've still got the pistons in there, don't I? So once the pistons are out, then I can take the engine block out. Yeah. And the oil pan's going to be one of the first parts out from underneath. That is all I can do there. Let's actually go over to the repair table real quick. See what can be repaired. Okay, drum wheel cylinder, we didn't get lucky on. Battery, we did. Brake servo, we did. Alternator, we didn't. Radiator, nope. Camshaft, nope. Ignition distributor cap, yep. Carburetor, nope. Engine head, nope. Brake shoe, nope. Brake shoe, yep. See, the more we can repair here, the better. I think we might have got lucky there. Okay, so Let's go to the inventory and sort by the middle one. Sort by the top one. Sort by the middle one. Not entirely sure how this is sorting by condition, but okay, let's go down to the bottom here. So we got a battery, ignition distributor cap, power steering pump. Oh, we got an intake manifold. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to stick with one carb. Brake source, good. Brake shoe, headlight. Yeah, we'll go with kind of 90% minimum for the parts. It'll cut down the sale price a bit, but I can deal with not having to move that stuff. And I will take out the interior. I'll be swapping out the interior entirely. I'll be putting in a modified interior because I quite like the idea of putting leather seats in this, and bucket seats in particular. I think you can even oh, please tell me there's a almost the entire exhaust system's 100%. Oh, that's good news. That's gonna save money. What have I forgotten here? Rubber bushing. Of course I've forgotten rubber bushings. Why would I ever remember rubber bushings? And I actually need to dismantle this bottom suspension arm as well. Steering knuckle also needs to go. And now we can take out the cross member. We can start working on the engine here. I don't know if taking out the oil pan is gonna... Yeah, I've been told that taking out the oil pan with oil in the car is going to cause problems, but I've never run into an issue with taking out the oil pan while oil's in the car. Not in this game at least. I know in Car Mechanic 15 there were issues because you could screw up the oil drain placement, which is something they changed that I don't like. The fact that there's no little oil drain placement minigame kind of thing. The rod caps are kind of okay. They're a bit sooty, but that one's junk. I'll probably buy new ones just because the engine and engine parts I want to be 100%. I don't want to run the risk of something going awry. So we're going to take out the starter here now. It's a V8 starter. And hopefully we'll be able to repair that. So coming down to this end of the car, we're going to take off the drive shaft. We'll take off the gearbox next. So 8 bolts on the drive shaft, 4 on either end. North, south, east, west configuration. 6 on the gearbox here itself, which I am going to try and repair, and we might get lucky. How is the clutch assembly looking? Clutch pressure plate has 5 bolts as well. Clutch assembly is looking pretty rough. There's the flywheel. And we can't take out the crankshaft. Did I leave it? No, that's not... I thought I'd somehow managed to leave a spark plug in the car. No, Dave, that's not a spark plug. Gotta take off the leaf spring. I don't know if I can modify this thing to have more of a solid rear axle, or at least be without the leaf springs, because I don't like, you know, leaving a car with a leaf spring rear axle, especially not this kind of car. Yes, it's more, well, this kind of car, it's more realistic to have a leaf spring. Okay, so that's most of this car now disassembled. I was about to sell it. No, I need to get the pistons. Pistons and engine head need to come out now. So, we'll piston conrods, piston rings. Most of these pistons look like junk. We'll see how we get on with our repair attempts, because I'd like to be able to restore the recipient car with as many original parts as possible from this donor. I need to... This is where it gets fiddly, because you got to raise and lower the car like you're playing the like you're doing the hokey hokey, because you put your whole car up, you put your whole car down, you put your whole car up, and you shake it all around. You do the hokey hokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, let's take out the engine. There we go. Now I just want to do a quick once over to make sure I've got everything out of the car. Oh yes, the interior. Interior needs to come out. There we go. So we now have, in theory, as I just do a once over to make sure I've ripped everything out of the car. Yep, we now have a body shell that is worth 1900-ish. So that's Bolt Hellcat number 1 gone. Back to the repair table real quick. We'll see what we can do to this stuff. Okay. The inventory we go. We'll do a double sort here just to try and get the stuff arranged by condition. I think it's actually done at this time. Somewhat. We'll be changing the tires to be kind of lower profile. So we'll see what we've actually managed to... You can see my money's going up. So we're selling off the bits and pieces that are junked, and maybe somebody somewhere will want the semi-junked parts from a Bolt Hellcat. So once we get down to the stuff that's at 100%, we'll know what we actually have to work with for the rebuild itself. And we've still got another car to actually go through. So we still have a full other car to disassemble. And it looks like we might have about half an engine here. So we got a tail light, a rear window, a body window, the rear bench, which I may or may not keep, a left headlight, a brake shoe, an intake manifold, the brake servo, power steering pump, ignition distributor cap, battery, middle muffler, well the exhaust system was fine anyway, starter, drive shaft, fuel pump, and oh, the engine block! Oh my god, we got a perfect engine block. Fantastic. How does the engine block for this look? Can I examine the engine block? It can be examined with the compression tester, which we conveniently have. Compression tester. I just want to test this engine block, see how clean it is. Because if it's 100%, we don't need to worry. We got 2 perfect pistons, so that's great. The engine block itself is 89, so we got 100% engine block, so that's a good start. Let's start by taking this engine apart. Seeing as we started with the suspension and the other one. So this will have to be a complete... That carburetor looks brand new, or nearly new. 86%, that's not too bad. But we will actually put the engine block in today at the very least. That gearbox looks pretty good. That may in fact be a brand new gearbox. We do seem to be missing an engine cover though. So that's not ideal. We do have a wiring loom, which we may have to get rid of though. Ignition wires, 80%. We might get lucky. This engine is looking a lot healthier than the other one though. But as you can see, there are still bits that are a bit worn out. We're going to get this thing up as close to brand new spec as we can. I may even push to get some new body panels, seeing as we've got an engine block, which is actually one of the more expensive things. We've got one ready. And at 100%. So it's going to depend on how the repairs of this engine goes. How we do for... Or what we do for the body itself. Because if we can repair this engine block too, that's going to be an engine block that we can just sell. A fully functioning, perfectly fine engine block. One of these things. You know, V8 overhead cam engine block. One of those new is have a look. V8 or cam. No. The engine block. Engine L. Yes, that's totally what I was trying to type there. Engine block for a V8 overhead valve is $2,500. So if we can sell one of those things, it's going to be a good bit of money. The spark plugs I'll probably just straight up buy new. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much if the spark plugs are junk. It's actually the head, and the block now doesn't actually matter how good that is. But obviously the better the block is, the more money we're going to make, so we're going to try and repair this block. We'll run a bit of a gamble of, you know, wrecking it, but I think it's a gamble worth taking because honestly, we're not losing money if we wreck it. We'll be probably making a profit out of this car regardless. Although having the other car be junked maybe wasn't the best thing. Maybe I should have kept that and done that as a project car to maybe keep for some tuning parts in the future or something, but it's a bit late to talk about that now, isn't it? But we're gonna get this thing looking like a drag car, so we're gonna be putting some big ass rear tires on it. Gonna be putting some oh my god, clips. Why clips? Why do they have clips? Need the rotor, need the distributor, need to take off the ignition coil. This seems to have a pretty full radiator setup, which is nice. If that battery's near 100%, that's going to be pretty sweet as well. We can either set it straight off or put it into the warehouse. I'm bordering on, I'm kind of verging on the side of selling it for cash monies. It's kind of my opinion there right now. We are going to have to completely disassemble the engine, seeing as we've got a perfectly good block, and I don't see the reason why not to use the perfectly good block we have. So this is going to be, oh yeah, the fuel filter needs to come out. That I'll straight up replace as well. Don't see the point in making a lovely clean engine and then putting an old fuel filter in there, or an old oil filter, or an old air filter. So now we'll get the engine disassembled as far as we can. It is actually, let's start taking body panels off here. So you can take the full door off and it'll give you all 3 panels, which is kind of nice. Oh, that has no rear window. Interesting. That's something that hopefully I'll be able to, well, I will be able to get. Hopefully I'll be able to get it cheap if I don't have one in in storage somewhere. That had no rear front right. Okay. So you can see this car is pretty good body wise. There's very, very little rust on it. So we might be able to get very lucky with the price here. How much is it worth in this current state? 21 grand? Okay. So even in its current state, with very little of an engine in it, it's worth 21,000. So building this thing back up to near factory spec, or pretty much factory spec if we can. I might try and go twin carb on it. Depends on how I feel later on when I'm actually rebuilding. But as things stand, I'm gonna go single carb. It looks like we'll actually have a full double set of good exhaust parts. Just looking down towards the back of the car. That is good. How's that shock looking? I don't know. It won't tell me. If that shock is good, we might be in for a very good day. Because I probably should have actually just realized disassembled the other shock and tried to repair the parts individually. But it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other one. Once you get to shocks, I mean, same with brakes. Odds are you're going to need to replace at least one part of the brakes. You know, between the repairs not going quite the way you want and just parts being too worn out, you can hear that beeping. Oh my god. It sometimes just doesn't go the way that you want. You know, that it's part of life. Let's get the sway bar linkage off. So the simple fact this thing's got a pretty solid body is gonna stand to me here, because the body is something I can't repair or buy new. The fact that it's got a good one means that is money I'm just flat out making from getting lucky when I bought it. That drum wheel cylinder is almost perfect. And I've clicked in the wrong place here. From rear axle knuckle housing also looks pretty good. How's the rear shock looking? Not too bad. This fuel tank looks... That fuel tank looks near perfect, actually. Just looking at it, looks a bit scratched up, but other than that, not much is wrong with it. This tire also looks perfect. That said, I'm going to be getting rid of the tires. Current tires anyway, so it doesn't matter how all that much how the tires look. I'll keep one just to get an idea of what the stock tires are like, but I'll be dumping the tires, putting a bit less profile into them. I'll probably go extra 3-inch radius, maybe. A 3-inch diameter. So they're... What are they currently? 65 or 14. So I'll probably go with like 17, 18-inch rims. Just to get a bit of a more aggressive looking profile on the tires. I might go with 14s on the front still, but for the rears, I definitely want looking a bit more aggressive. Let's get rid of the sway bar, steering rack. Oh, this thing never had an oil pan in the first place. Rod cap, 82%. I know some of these pistons are perfect, so we will get lucky with a couple of pistons here. That's going to be very good news indeed. That one looks like it's a perfect piston, actually. And that one. But then you get ones that are just clearly covered in soot, like that one, and that one there. This piston, actually this pair we're coming up to now, are just absolutely covered in soot. So this one is going to be junk. And this one's going to be junk. Right. We need to also grab the oil filter while we're down here. We can start working on this side of the front suspension. Steering knuckle can come off. Suspension cross member can come off. Right, let's see what these mufflers are like. 100%. 100%. This is pure money. 100%. 100%. Fantastic. We've got a full, pretty much a full exhaust system we can just flat up sell. That is music to my ears, because that is free money. What am I missing off this starter? I forgot about the starter. I think we got a perfectly good starter. Gearbox. This is looking positive. This could be a perfect gearbox. Gearbox is 99%. I might get a new gearbox still if I can't repair that 1%. As petty as that sounds, I want this car to fetch as much money as possible, and something being at 99% is going to lose a tiny, tiny bit of money. What needs to go now? The OSC U-bolts on the leaf springs. So I can free out the leaf springs, get them gone, so I can take off the rear axle. Plate needs to go, leaf spring can go. And we'll get repairing up the last bits of the car in a moment. And I might do the... Yeah, let's do the bodywork today, actually. So we can get the bodywork all into perfect condition today. And... then in the next video we can just worry about... Come on, piston with conrod. Out you come. That's 100% pistons. That's near 100%. That's 100% piston. And this one's going to be 100% as well. Nope, 97. Okay. Yeah, I think if we can get the body looking sweet, and the interior as well would be quite nice to do today. I know that we're kind of running a bit low on time. Running a bit over already, but it doesn't matter too much. Take out the engine block. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of, or go to assemble mode. We've got a front right fender at 99%, that'll do. We've got a hood at 98%, that'll do. The front left fender, we do not, so let's go to the body shop. What is this? This is the Bolt Hellcat. So if I just search up in the body shop, Hellcat. Okay, and the fender we need is front left, please. That's the wrong button. Front left fender. We just want one of those. That's 135 spent on this car already. Front window, 80. Now we'll get a front window. We'll get a new windscreen. Wrong button. Sample mode. There we go. Brand new windscreen. This body is going to be where probably a lot of the expense lies. Just because there's some fiddly bits, like the mirrors and the windows, that they're going to cost money. But to get this car looking as sweet as can be, you gotta put a bit of money into it. That's good enough. Rear window I think has, yeah, it's near 100%, that's good. Trunk, we're gonna need to buy in, so let's get a new trunk. That's $270 just gone on the trunk. Rear bumper, we're gonna need to buy in. $225 just for a bumper. You can see this is not going to be a cheap car when it's done. However, I think I put in the wrong taillight. Nope, that was the correct taillight. We need to get a right taillight. You can see this car is already looking pretty good, and that's without, you know, some of the panels painted because they can't be. That window's good. We need to get a new right door. And of course we can't actually take it down off the stand at the moment, so we'll have to worry about the interior at the very end. Now let's get a new window for the door. We got a new door, we might as well get a window for it. Whoops. There we go. Yep, we're gonna need a new mirror. So this body's coming up to $1,000 just by itself for all the little bits and pieces that we needed. Let's get both sets of headlights here. Whoops. Right headlight. Knowing my luck to be a perfect left headlight. Nope, that's fine. Front bumper. We need to swap out like that. And that is the car hooptied. I know it looks ridiculous in this situation, but it's about as good as I can get it. And that's going to be it for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave by saying, I've been RainbowDave, you've been watching Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Working on restoring a bolt Hellcat. Using a donor Hellcat. Until next time, stay safe. And goodbye.